just give you a little update as far as what I've been doing. So in a previous video that I've got posted on my channel, I was doing a repurpose or reusing a canvas. So I was in the process of putting gesso on it, doing a primer coat, and setting it up to be ready to do another painting on it. Unfortunately, after the first coat and the second coat dried, it wasn't quite perfect. So I've gone ahead and I've done a quick little sanding to give the canvas a bit of a tooth or something to allow the next coat of gesso to go on, and hopefully that'll smooth everything out. Then I'll do another coat of primer on it. Now that's going to take a couple days. Again, it's just a little time-consuming item that you can't really rush through. It's just one of those things that when it's ready, it's ready. And then I'll go ahead and we'll do an image on that. I think I'm leaning towards doing a 1950s style RCMP recruiting poster. So a little bit vintage, and we'll just go from there. So far I haven't really sketched anything out, but I've been looking at images online, and I think I've got a pretty good idea on what I want to do with that. Now on my CN rail painting, I've got that set aside and it is almost completed, but unfortunately I don't have any semi-gloss clear coat to finish off the canvas with. So I'm just going to go ahead and hang it. In the future what I'll do is a video on how to preserve or how to take care of a canvas, and I'll use that one as a sample piece, and we'll go through the processes as it relates to doing a clear coat or a protective coating on it. So watch for that in the future, and again you always check my channel on that. Now I thought I'd pull out some of my work from my past and just give you a little view on that. Now this is an image that I came across about 10 years ago. It was a long time ago. I was doing my apprenticeship out in Alberta, and I managed to go to a bookstore in BC, and I came across this little item in what was I describe as maybe a 12 by 17 or 16 print, and at the time I couldn't afford to buy it, but it kind of got stuck in the back of my head as something that I wanted to pick up down the road. Unfortunately, I could never find one. Just not an easy item to come by as far as that's concerned here in Ontario. So I thought I would paint one, and this was done maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And it's not an exact copy of what that image was, because I really couldn't find what I was looking at out in Alberta. You know, it would have been 6 or 7 years prior to that. So this one here is, and I'm going to leave the artist details and what images kind of inspired me to do this. But I used my dog as a reference to it, which I know sounds a little ridiculous. But when you're looking at the head of it, you'll see that the tooth count and kind of the way the fangs at the front or the incisors are kind of positioned, they're positioned a lot like a Samoyed would. And the basic jawline has a little bit of a smile to it, which again is very similar to a Samoyed. And that's because at the time I owned a Samoyed, and I used her as kind of a reference guide for that. So again, it's not an exact copy of someone's work, but it's an item that was inspired by someone else's print. So again, it's an item that's not for sale, so it's one of those things that I enjoy and I put on my wall, and I get to see it on a daily basis, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of my dog. So again, that's why I painted it, and I will put details in the description, and hopefully you enjoy it, and I hope you're staying safe and you're using some of the precautions that's needed today in Ontario. We're still dealing with that coronavirus, so we're still in kind of that shutdown mode. And I'm just putting these videos up to show that you can do a few things around the house, keep yourself busy, and hopefully maintain your sanity. So that's the basic idea behind it. So again, it's shot with a very basic little camera, and I'm using a selfie stick, so I do apologize for the fact that it's a little shaky. And I'm not really editing, it's just kind of a straightforward conversation. So hopefully the next week or so I'll get underway on doing that RCMP vintage training poster. Go from there, or I'll do I'm actually thinking I might do a travel poster. I haven't really decided completely. The RCMP one though does seem to be of interest to me at this point, so I may be locking up on that one. So again, enjoy your day, and we'll talk to you later. Have a pleasant and enjoyable evening.